Hump day.
Yes. I can't get on this new schedule. Is this the second week we've done this?
Yes.
Okay. So
I think so.
There's an excuse.
Yeah.
We're just not in the routine.
I was going to say happy Monday. I'm so used to doing it on Mondays.
Well, and then last week we still didn't do... Did we I feel like we flip-flopped something. Oh, you weren't here. Mm-hmm. So that messed with me. And then next week, I think it's going to be a little different. I mean, we're still going to be here Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday like normal. But like our schedules are going to be a little different.
Yeah.
But it's okay. It's all right. We'll get it.
We'll get on a schedule eventually.
Yeah, for sure. Guys, we're doing a fun project today. We're going to work with our family grids. I know we get a lot of questions about our grids. The family grids and then just our regular grids. So I'd love to give you guys education on those. And we're going to be doing a really fun family one today. Using a couple of Maker's Gonna Learn fonts that are available to all of our yearly members here at Maker's Gonna Learn. And then we're going to be doing this awesome paint technique. It's pretty exciting.
Oh, I'm excited. Guys, when Becca did this was another one of those projects where I was staring at her, probably hanging over her like an old dead goose, just so excited to watch this come about. It's this amazing Crackle paint. You guys saw it in the intro photo. It's beautiful. It looks old and weathered.
It's a pretty neat technique, and honestly, I thought it was going to be like more labor intensive, take a little bit longer than what it does. It's pretty quick. You don't have to be an artist to do this at all,
which is a plus.
Yeah. Honestly, I could give Fallon a paintbrush and the paints and just give her the order to do things, and she can make it look just as good as mine. So don't be scared if you're not a painter. This is a great technique for you.
It's definitely really cool. I think I would use this on future projects, like to want that kind of look in some of these. Because this sign that you guys saw, I don't think it would even look near as good if it didn't have that Crackle paint. It's just like the style. Mm-hmm. Gorgeous.
Yeah, well, and I think the challenge a lot of times is, okay, everybody likes to make signs. Signs are something that everyone likes to do, but how are you going to make it different? How are you going to do the background different? Mm-hmm. What are you going to do to the frame that's different? So I always love to do different techniques, just to kind of make it a little bit different. And so this paint technique is pretty cool. I'm excited. You can do it on wood. You can do it on canvas. You can do it on, anything that you can use acrylic paint on, you can do this technique with. So that's pretty neat. And then we're going to be using HTV to put our family grid design on this. So we're going to be using our Easypress. We've got lots going on. I'm very excited. Do we have any questions yet?
I don't think everyone's just saying good morning.
Catherine, when Rachel's like an old dead goose, I've actually never heard that.
It's a quote from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Okay. That movie freaks me out, so I've only seen it like one time.
I think it was in the original, because I heard it growing up.
That's hysterical. Yeah. I'm going to start saying that. We need to add that to our list of MGL sayings.
It's really something. Yeah, it's something.
Like an old dead goose.
It'll get your attention,
So funny. Welcome. If you're just joining us, we're doing a wonderful project today. I'm super excited to get started with it. But before I start, I do want to point out, guys, that we have our Summer Summit on special promo code, whatever you want to call it today. It's $20 off using code MAKE, M-A-K-E. So you get $20 off our awesome Summer Summit. If you guys have not been to Summit before, okay, wait, I'm sorry, squirrel. Rachel, this ring light is a little bit crazy.
Yep. Like when you look away from it and you blink a lot, you've got that light. It's not
even that. Like I've got one in my craft room at home, and I don't notice it as bad, but it's like there's a fog in the middle of it.
I'm telling you, it's something.
Anyway, I'm so sorry, guys.
I'm sure Becca yesterday was like, Rachel's such a freaking baby. She can't even handle this ring light.
Just look away. Anyways, back to Summer Summit. So if you guys are not familiar with Summer Summit and all of our summits in general, they are amazing. We have 10 wonderful classes that are, they're pretty extensive. They range in general from like 30 minutes to an hour. In length, so there's lots of details, lots of tips and tricks along the way,
and none of those have like stopping for questions. It's all just really concise,
start to
just
finish.
The training.
Yeah. So our viewers really love that. The people who attend virtually the summit love that. There's just lots of education, and in the middle of that, we are watching along with you and commenting, answering questions that you guys have about those projects. And the projects are very varying. I feel like there's something for everyone in these summits, which is pretty cool. There's a pretty diverse list of projects. And so I think everyone should attend. It's a fantastic time. It's really fun. Anyone that has been to ours can attest to them. We have, we have members who have been to every single one, and who, some people are like, this was my first one. I'll never miss another one. So, there's varying levels of attendance as well. But everyone, as far as I have heard, just absolutely loves these summits. It's just a fantastic weekend.
It's fun. And we go kind of above and beyond and give you guys, of course we have like giveaways the day of and things like that. But we also love to super secretly launch some big things for the company during our
I'm a little nervous
summits.
about what we're launching this next time, because I don't know.
It hasn't happened every time, but whenever we do have something planned that we're launching later in the year, we always give our summit people early access. You guys get all of the kind of sneak peeks on some fun stuff happening, and then we swear you to secrecy until we announce it to the public. It's just a fun day. It's fun. So
in addition, to all the education you get, we do it. I had a question about this yesterday, and we get questions about it a lot, so I just want to point it out. We do a very extensive list of all the supplies that you might need for Summit. So it's literally every single thing from machine to brush to brand of stapler. I mean, like anything that you would probably already have in your craft room, like if we use it, we still list it. So it's a very extensive supply list for each individual project, and that is available to you guys in, I think, PDF form. Was it PDF?
Yeah, I think so.
Or
Google Doc, something like that. Yeah,
it was Google Doc. Anyway, so that is an amazing perk as well. Anyway, $20 off. Use code MAKE, MAKE, and it makes the summit $177 for 10 classes, guys. That is so cheap per class, and is very well worth the investment. Miss Angie, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry that we're frustrating you with all of our talk. Unfortunately, we do have to kind of promote, some of the programs and classes and stuff that we offer. One, you wouldn't know about them if we didn't do that, and two, that's how we make our money. So we are almost finished with that, and you can just stay tuned for just a minute, and we'll get to crafting for sure. If we don't have any questions, we can go ahead and go over into Design Space, Rachel, if you want to.
Yeah, it's fine by me. It's asking you to do something weird.
Oh, is it?
I click later on this, guys, every time. My computer's like, do you want to update? I'm like, nah. For like 6 months, nah.
Okay, so we are over here in Design Space. We just have our canvas blank, and I'm just going to go to upload because I have already imported my family grid here. So we'll just insert that image. And before I do that, actually, I got ahead of myself. Let's go ahead and measure our frame that we're using today. And I'm going to put a basic shape from Design Space onto our canvas so that we know what size we are working with, so we know how to size our family grid. Here we go. I've got everything out now. So our frame is 24 1/4 by 16 1/4. So I'm just going to go up here to shapes, grab a square, and then I'll come up here to the sizing, and then I'll size that here. So I said, 24 1/4 by 16 1/4. Oh my goodness. There we go. So there's that. And then we've got the inside of our frame. I like to do both. You don't have to do both by any means. You could just do the inside. But I like to do both just visually. And mine's 21 1/2 by 13 1/4. So I'm just going to add another rectangle here. There we go. If I can remember the dimensions here. Isn't that horrible? Like, I feel like if I don't write things down, that I'm going to forget what I've just said immediately, especially when it comes to numbers. I hate that about myself.
I think it was locked up on you, Becca.
Was it?
I don't know, was it? I think she was locked up on you.
She may have been. Oh, you're right. Thank you, Rachel.
Anytime.
21 1/4, or 21 1/2.
And guys, these are these grids are awesome. We love working, and I don't think we have enough training on these because I feel like you guys might be a little intimidated by them, but they are nothing to be intimidated by. They're super fun, and these are a yearly member-only perk along with their fonts, which is super fun.
Right. Okay, so I have both of these really quick. Again, you don't have to do this. You could just eye it yourself. This is just a hack that we like to do. And I'm just going to go up here to press align and center, and then I'll group them together so that they don't move on me. So that represents my frame. That's the size that I have, and we're good to go. I can pull this little guy over here to send him to front. I can pull this guy over here, and I can size it however I want. Now, you do need to keep in mind that you do have restrictions because of Cricut, obviously. Now, there's a couple of ways you could do this. The frame that we did for the thumbnail of this YouTube video is a massive frame.
Oh my gosh, yeah,
Huge.
It's huge.
And I had to split this up into a couple of different cuts. So the way that I did that, first of all, once I got the name and the number and all that stuff on there, then I ungrouped and I just kind of started slicing. I had to slice through this guy and then perfectly line it up on there. So you can definitely make this bigger than just your standard mat size. It's very doable. And it's not horrible to line up afterward. But for the sake of this, I'm just going to do the height at 11.5. So that I don't have to do any slicing and manipulating and, trying to get that on the canvas in a good way. Anyway, I think that size looks really good on there too.
I think so, yeah. You don't have to, a lot of people feel like they have to fill the entire frame.
Yeah.
And if some people want to, that's fine, to each their own. But it's simply not true that your project will not look good if it's smaller or something like that. This is perfect to me, I think.
Yeah, no, I agree. I for one, am one of those, less is not more type people. I love, more is more to me.
Yeah.
But for this particular instance, I think it's totally fine just to leave it like that. So anyway, now what we're going to do, one thing I want to point out, on our Facebook, or on our website, makersgonnalearn.com, when you go to download these family grids, there are suggestions at the bottom. So if you'll scroll down just a little bit, there are font pairing suggestions on our website for you guys.
That is so neat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's, obviously you don't have to use those font suggestions, but they do look really good with here. Courtney did a really good job with that. Okay, so I just went over to text and I'm going to type in oaks here, and then go to font, and then I'll search here, and we're going to use Distillery for the last name. You can see here, this is a pretty neat font. It has all these little cutouts in it. Look how cool that is.
Cool. I love this font.
Now, guys, I would not want to use this font small. Could you imagine reading this in an inch tall font, Rachel?
No, and I really wouldn't want to. I would have nightmares about it.
It would be awful. So I just decreased the letter spacing so that my letters will come together. And honestly, even though I decreased the other, it still looks a little far off. So I'm just going to press ungroup up here in the top right corner, and then bring my O over just a tiny bit there. And then I can regroup if I want to, just by selecting all of those letters individually, or you can drag and drop and then press group. So now what I want to do, I want it to fill up more of this red space, and this font in particular will do fine with what I'm about to do. Some fonts, once you press this little lock button and then start moving it in an unlocked ratio, then the fonts become squished and odd, but this Distillery font still looks really good in my opinion when you unlock those ratios and then kind of just make it fit there. So I really like that. That looks good to me. And then what I'm going to do is add another text box for my number 4. So we have 4 people in my immediate family here at the Oaks home. So that's why I put 4 there. And then again, if I wanted this a little squattier, then I think this font looks just really good. Even the numbers, kind of disproportionate from what is imported. And then I'm going to add another text box and do 2007 because that's the year that we were married. So I'll do a 2, and then I'm going to press enter to go to the next line, enter again to go to the next line, enter again to go to the next line, and then I've got my 7 there. And that's how you can do a vertical text.
Great tip.
Right? We do have questions about that quite a bit. So that's just an easy way to do that. I'm going to decrease my line spacing here. I may need to do it manually because I think it's going to take forever if I don't. So let's see what -5 does. There we go.
Ooh. See, and I mean, you could add, you know, each number in its separate text box and have it a line. But I mean, you know, this is so much easier.
Apparently I deleted here. There we go. I love that undo button.
Oh, it has saved many a project.
And you know what, guys? What I should have done before I started messing with this kerning, but it's live, so I didn't do it, was go ahead and change my font. So I'm going to be using the font Passion. So I can grab that really quick. And the only reason I say I should have done it before is because now I've over...
I see what you mean.
Yeah, each font has a different spacing, and it's fine. No big deal. We're getting it. Okay, so anyway, that was the Passion font. That is really cool. And so you can do this a couple different ways. I'm just going to leave it as is. Well, you could center it. You can, and you saw the 2 and the 7 moved over a little bit. Or you could leave it left, or you could be sort of drastic and then ungroup these like this, and then kind of space these out in a more diagonal pattern. Like so. So, I mean, however you want to do that. These grids are literally just to help you guys kind of line things up, help give you a little bit of guidance for design inspiration. And then you just do whatever you want to with them. There's no right or wrong way to do these necessarily. But once I'm happy with the way this looks, guys, we're finished in Design Space with that. I mean, it was that quick and easy to do that.
Super easy. And with those font pairing help that we've got in there, it makes it a no-brainer. You don't even have to sit there and, you know, worry about which fonts to pair with it. Yeah. So that's super fun. I love that Distillery font.
Yeah. So now that I'm finished with that, all I have to do is go over here to my layers panel, and then hide that little red layer. So once I hide the red layer, then I can click Make It. Now, another thing that I personally like to do, you can see this tiny little line right here, and then this little line right here under Established in Oaks. When you make this smaller like this, those lines are so thin that sometimes they kind of pull apart when you're trying to weed. Even on my big one, I had trouble with it. So if you wanted to get rid of those, you could do that. You can press Contour, or maybe not. Let's see here. Zoom out here so we can see the whole thing. Where is she? I wish they would.
I think she's teeny tiny.
Is she up here? Maybe she's little.
Nope.
Oh my goodness.
Where did she go?
Okay. Since I can't do it that way, I mean, I'm sure I could find it. I'm going to show you another way to do it. See, there's more than one way to do things, guys. So what I'm going to do is just grab a shape right here, a little rectangle, and then I'll make it teeny tiny to cover that line up just like this. And then I'm going to slice it out. So I'll select both layers, press slice.
I think you got a hair on your ass down there.
I think it's okay because I didn't actually select that layer.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, you're good.
There we go. And then we've got our square here. And see, I can do the same thing on this one. I'm going to show you. I'm going to put it right over top of that too. Oh. And because I'm only selecting this layer and not the 2007 to press slice, we're all Gucci.
Oh, Becca.
Right?
Oh, Becca. You're blowing some minds here. At least mine.
So there we go. If you, like I said, if you want those out, that's a way to do that. You can leave them in and weed it out if you want to too. There we have it. We are ready to hit Make It after we hide this. Oh, I do need to point out, you need to select all of this and press Weld so that it will all come together. If you're new to Cricut, I'm going to go ahead and click Make It and show you why you need to hit Weld. it's in a million different pieces on there.
That's
exactly how it's going to cut out. It's not going to fix itself before it cuts out.
Nope.
So you definitely don't want that. You'll want to hit cancel and then select this whole thing. And then press weld. Now, another thing that you could do if you wanted like this outline to be a different color than this, for instance, if I wanted it to be blue and then I wanted, you know, my names and stuff to be a different color, then you would weld those separately. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Anyway, so I'm just going to weld all these together.
Yeah.
Just like this. So
and you guys feel free to weld. You can attach as long as there's no cursive-y things. But I think when you're in this process, the smart thing to do would just be to weld.
Yeah.
I mean, just weld her up.
Yeah, like everything else, there are so many different ways to do things.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're ready to hit make it, and then now you can see it is all on one mat, and this is a longer project. It does still fit in the 11.5 inches width requirement for a mat, but we are going to need our longer mat, so our 12 by 24 mat, and then we will press mirror, because we're using iron-on. So make sure that you mirror it. This is a large piece of vinyl that you're going to be wasting if you don't mirror it.
Oh my heaven, that would be a hard day.
It would, for sure. So then you just press continue. You're connecting to your maker there, and then you'll select I think everyday iron-on. I feel like they changed. Did they change the premium vinyl or something?
Yeah, they changed it just normal. It just said the one word vinyl. They changed it to premium vinyl.
Yeah.
Yeah. Debbie, if you choose attach, you can make updates later. Yes, Debbie, you can. That is why if you wanted to attach, you totally could. But since that was such an easy project to make and it didn't take like 5 hours to kern this cursive text or this or that, going ahead and welding is fine too. Just either way.
It says the device is connected to something else. I wonder if we had it open in Safari. Give me just a second, guys.
Connected to something. You could just turn her off and back on and she should.
Okay.
The machine should. But she's USB'd over here.
Well, it doesn't matter either way. I already have it cut out. So the only thing that you would do, you would connect and then you would just press iron on as your setting. And then you'll load your mat and cut it out. So we are good there. Once you cut out, then you can apply it. So let's go ahead and switch over and we'll do our paint technique. And I did this a little bit out of order from what I wanted to do. That's okay. We'll figure it out. Okay, so first of all, let me show you. This is the finished piece that is ready for the iron-on. You can see all those crackles in there. It looks really cool. And I will say, guys, I mean, it does have some dimension to it. So when you go to iron on, you'll definitely want to use your your mini Easypress if you have one, just so that you can get into those cracks and crevices and everything more easily. So anyway, there's our finished one. And what we're going to do, I have one here that already has our base layer dried on it. So I used this Americana acrylic paint. It is the Gray Storm acrylic paint. It's a really pretty dark color, and I've painted it and I've let it dry really good. Now this base coat, you don't have to let it dry for like hours or anything. I actually, when I did mine, just painted it on there, and I didn't use a super thick coat, but then I just used a heat gun and dried it, and then I was ready to go to my next layer. And as you can see, well, I don't know if you can see it or not, it's a little thin here and there. Mm-hmm. You can see some spots. That's totally fine. It doesn't have to be covered 100% because it's just going to add to the Crackle distressed look. And honestly, you're probably not even going to be able to see it through it anyway. So once that is dry, what you're going to do is take regular Elmer's school glue. Probably everyone has this. Just white, old school kindergarten glue.
Probably in the back bottom of your craft drawer, your junk drawer that you never look in.
And then you're just going to put some glue on here.
Oh, Becca, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good about this. Feeling good about this. And you may want to add some in a little bit too. There's no really rhyme or reason to how you can do this in sections if you want to, or you can do it all over like I'm doing. This is actually the first time I've done it all over. So we've got our glue there, and then just get a cruddy, cheap paintbrush and smear it out.
And Barbara says, did you paint that on plywood?
Yes, it is plywood. Thank you, Barbara. I forgot to mention that. So this frame is one of the frames that we make in our frame class, our first frame class that we have. So we're just using that. This is the backing that we use for all of our frames. And then we're going to be using a frame that we made. So we're just going to spread this out. And guys, you don't want it super, super thick on there, just because it will take a little bit to dry. Let's see here. Once you get it all spread out, you want to let it wait, I would say between 5 and 10 minutes, honestly, to start to get kind of tacky, if that makes sense. You don't want it to be dry by any means, because it won't crack at that point, but we want it to be a little bit tacky. And then you're ready for your next coat once that. So guys, I meant to do this before I did the design space stuff. And then our friendly comment just got me a little distracted. So that's why I didn't. But
that's fine.
So this is going to dry for a minute, but while it's drying, I want to go over to our website and show you guys, if we have any new viewers here, I want to show you about our membership and what is available for you guys who might be interested in joining makersgonnalearn.com. So if you don't know who and what we are a community of die-cut crafters, and we love each other and we love crafting. And so our website, we have a membership available to you guys that gives you access to almost 4,000 cut files and almost 400 fonts. Now that's just for yearly members. The fonts are just for yearly members. But in addition to those things, you guys get access to our awesome Facebook group. That is phenomenal. And in the Facebook group, oh look, I love this section. Sorry. This has our top videos. I didn't know that we had put that on our website. That's super cool. Yeah, super cool. Anyway, our Facebook group is amazing. We do member-only videos there, which are just start-to-finish tutorials on things that you guys have asked specifically for. And then in addition to those other things, our yearly members get a free commercial license, and they get... here we go. They get a free commercial license, and then they get 3 free e-courses. Let me drag down here. Guys, we need to update these numbers. I've said it a couple of times. Y'all need to get on Tanner. We need to update those. We've got to sell it with the facts, right?
Oh, yeah. So
our best value, as you see here, is our yearly membership. In addition to all of the extra perks that you get as a yearly member, it's cheaper, guys. The breakdown is $15.99 per month. It's billed annually. And so at $15.99 per month, that breaks down to 3 months of free crafting for you guys. Like, that's insane. So incredible. And then you get those 3 free online courses like I talked about. Let me click on those so that you can see those really quick. One is the Cricut Maker Design Space e-course, which just gives you all the ins and outs of Design Space. If you're new to Cricut, that can be very confusing, very daunting. Yeah. There's so many different terms and things in Design Space that you would not be familiar with.
It's so easy to get overwhelmed,
yeah,
you know?
Yeah. And so there's breaking down Design Space as well. And then there's building a business through die cutting, which is an incredible course. We have so many people who give little testimonies about how many things that they've learned from that specific course when they were building their business with their die cut machine. It breaks down how to price things, how to promote yourself, how to advertise, just all sorts of good tips for starting your business through die cut. Because with that yearly membership, like I mentioned before, you get that free commercial license, so you can legally sell anything that you make with our cut files and fonts. So that's really awesome. And guys, if you're starting a business with your die cut machine, FYI, the cost of your membership is a tax write-off. Just True. Something to think about.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it is. But here's the breakdown. I love this little graphic that we have. Here's the breakdown. We do offer monthly membership at $19.99 a month. So if you do not want to make a commitment of an entire year right now, maybe just want to get your toes wet, see what we're about a little bit, then that monthly membership is available to you. Yep. Anna Smith said, hello. So with license, do you actually get the license? If you would like a physical copy of that, then you can email our customer service department, hi@makersgonnalearn.com, and they will hook you up with that commercial license.
Yeah, but if you are an active yearly member, it's like it's there. You've got it. There's nothing to worry about. As long as you're active, you are active in that license. So if you had to show someone a physical copy for any reason, then yeah, we can send those to you if you would like.
Yeah,
and
great question.
We got some really sweet comments. Miss Pamela said, so glad I joined. I learned so much and have more confidence in my crafting.
Yes.
And sweet Tammy, who is here all the time, thanks for being so supportive, Tammy. She said, if you're new, the membership gives you confidence and knowledge and just about everything you need to know how to craft. Definitely get the yearly membership, worth every penny. So sweet.
Look at Denise. Good news.
Oh,
I do not have breast cancer. Oh my goodness, Denise.
Oh my
God.
Yay.
Praise God. How wonderful.
Oh my goodness. What a mighty God. Thank you, Lord.
I could cry. I'm so happy
Denise. For you. What I just can picture that weight off your shoulders.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm so happy for you.
Oh,
thank you for sharing that news.
that's like the best news of 2020.
Amen.
Oh, so
Amen.
good. I felt weird going back to this salesy thing.
Oh.
Anyway, so here's the breakdown of our monthly, 6-month, and yearly membership for you there. And then we do have those join now buttons, so you can go ahead and do that. And then, oh, guys, I forgot we did this. This is something we never even promote this. That if you are curious about what Maker's Gonna Learn is and how like an SVG file works, like if you're new at all and aren't really sure if you can do it, which everyone can do it, we have so many awesome printable guides that help you do it too. But you can try out a free SVG file. So that's cool. You can choose one if you're not a member or haven't ever gotten one before. So that's pretty neat. And then you can definitely just view every single, even if you're not a member, you can view all of the cut files and fonts that are available to you. So that's pretty cool. Yearly members, I do like to point this out. Well, all members, I like to point this out. If you're not familiar with our website much, get acquainted with it. There's some good stuff in there, but you can go to our dashboard. And then scroll down here and under member resources are where all of those awesome printable guides are that we like to talk about and we reference a lot. Actually, let's go ahead and show one. It's been a while since I showed one.
I will. And Becca, we actually had an incredible question way up at the top. I hope that Miss Debbie is not impatient with us. I'm sorry, Miss Debbie, but I will not forget your amazing question. She said, do you need to brush the glue in a certain direction to have consistent cracks? That's a great question, I think.
That's a good question. Yeah. I normally do them all in the same direction, except I didn't down here. So we're going to see.
We'll see.
Yeah, I would think, honestly, that this is going to crack horizontally or vertically. I don't know how you're looking at it. To me, it's horizontal. And then this is going to crack this way as well. So that's a really good question. Okay, so here's the printable guide that I was talking about. And we have this one laminated and bound, and it's really cool. So from the very beginning, we have this awesome glossary of terminology: cut, write, score, print, what a hidden layer is, what flatten means, what attach means, what weld means, and look how visually pleasing this is. This is so cute. It
looks super professional and put together.
I just love it. I don't know, and having it bound like this just makes it feel really durable, and I love that. Anyway, so we have all the terminology definitions there, and then we have a blade chart that gives you the materials that each blade can cut. Now, this is a pretty detailed list, although there may be some items on here, or items that your blade can cut that aren't listed, but this is pretty detailed. Anyway, so each blade, you can see Fine Point has several pages there. Our rotary blade, and then it has a glossary of our mats to show you what what materials you would cut on each of the mats, which is really nice. And then this is my favorite part. I reference this a lot. So this is our temperature chart, and it goes through all of the more common items that you would use heat transfer on, and then it tells you, you can see that like burlap with easy iron on, burlap with foil, burlap with fusible fabric. It tells you how or what temperature to heat this up with. Oh my gosh.
It's so handy. For beginners and everything, I mean, come on. It's the bomb. You have to have this.
For sure. So it has all of those, Sport Flex, pattern iron on, and then it just gives you your glossary back here. This is one of my favorite member resources that we have. So I just wanted to show that because I haven't in a while. Super cool.
It's a fun little book. And you guys can leave it on your phone, on your iPad. You can look it up if you want to. I'm a very visual person, so I definitely want to, have that there physical for me, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And if like physical, if you don't like to print stuff out or don't have room to keep it or whatever, then like Rachel said, you can, it's available in a PDF form, so you can keep it on your tablet, your computer, or your phone or whatever, and just access it or reference it very easily. Okay, so I think this is probably pretty good. It's a little bit tacky, and we're gonna go with it. So I have this paint here. This is Americana, and it is called Overcast, and it's sort of just like a beigey gray, like a cloudy color. And I'm gonna shake it up good. And then I like to just take a brush and dollop some on my brush here. You can definitely, you know what, this may not even have enough to do this whole thing. We'll see. If not,
you have a craft runner. I can run
it. And I just got paint on the table. Oh well. It just adds to it.
We never craft on this table anymore except for lives. We used to craft on this table every day. So, I'll take it as a win. That's fun.
And again, guys, with this, you don't have to have full coverage. Let me try to shake some of this down. And the drier the glue is, the more tacky it is, obviously, because it's dry. And so I'm going to put one coat on, and then in the thinner parts, I don't want to go back over that. And I'll show you why right here. You can see where it's thinner. If I go back over it, then I just made a liar of myself. There we go. The drier that we get, and I'll show you again in just a second as this dries a little bit, and you go over it. Did you see where it came off right there? Mm-hmm. It's a cool look, but you don't want your entire thing to look like that.
It's already cracking. Oh my gosh, look.
So just be mindful of that. So we're just going to cover it. Again, for our viewer who asked about direction, I would probably do the same direction with all of this as well. Just to keep all of those cracks in the same. I wonder if you did like a sponge and just did up and down what that would look like. That's another day.
That's another
day. We'll figure that out.
It's such a cool technique,
though.
It
is.
And you would think that it would take so much extra time and this and that, but... And Miss Barbara, I would say Miss Barbara came in a bit late. She would like to know what you are applying. She didn't really catch it.
Paint?
I might be like paint. She might be talking about the glue.
So I'm using plywood, Miss Barbara. I've got plywood here, and then I have my dark gray acrylic paint, and I put that layer on yesterday or the day before, and so it is good and dry. And then I put Elmer's glue down. Just applied it with a paintbrush and let it, how long do you think it dried? 5-ish minutes?
Yeah.
Between 5 and 10 minutes, just to let it get tacky. And then I am applying more acrylic paint in this other color. That's not a bad idea. And I'm out of acrylic paint, so we're just going to do this one section and be done. Just putting a good amount on here. Did you see right there where that kind of came up? Because it's drier there, and my brush was drier as well. So that's why. But
I'd say with like everything, the more you practice, the better you get. And like, not saying you're not practiced, but just like for people that might think, oh, this is a little much for me. I mean, it's kind of like everything. The more you do it, the more you can tell how the glue is going to dry and how it's going to work and everything.
Yeah, well, I mean, and it's supposed to look distressed, so it looks like it's supposed to. So you just cover the whole thing. You can make it light, like right here on the edge where it's kind of lighter. That looks good because, again, it's distressed. But I'm going to zoom in and let you see what it's looking like right now. Remind me that I put that in the trash so that it didn't get stuff everywhere. And I'll get it out and clean it. Okay. So let's zoom in. You can see already it's starting to crack up here. It's that quick.
Yeah.
Super cool. And then once it's dry, you're ready to put your HTV on it. Now, I honestly, I wouldn't heat this up with a heat gun to try to expedite the drying process because I feel like the top would feel dry, but kind of in between might still be a little impressionable.
That's the way glue does, the top will dry and it'll kind of go down like that. Yeah.
So I think it would still be impressionable, and then when you try to put your HTV on it and hit it with the heat gun, I think that it would just be a disaster.
Yeah.
What do you think, Rachel? 1 or 2?
Ooh, I don't know.
I don't remember what we did.
Maybe I don't know.
I'm going with 2.
And we do have several great questions for you, Becca.
Let's hear them.
Would you be able to use adhesive vinyl without pulling some of the chipped paint off with transfer tape? So basically, could this project work with adhesive vinyl?
I think so, because it's like when I go like this, it's not like it's flaking off. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's not like a flaky finish.
And you could always, if you're using adhesive vinyl, you could always put a couple coats of polyacrylic on this or something to make it good and smooth for the vinyl if you would like to do that. Unless you love that matte look, you could get like a satin or something.
So here's my pre-finished one. I showed it at the beginning, but here's my pre-finished one that I did yesterday so that we could go ahead and put our iron-on on it for you guys today. Yep. And I am just going to flip it over onto our frame and grab this awesome staple gun and staple it in here.
And that also answers Miss Barbara's question. She did pre-make that. And let's see here.
This is so loud.
I know. Becca, do you think clear Elmer's glue would work?
I do.
You heard it here first.
I do.
And Miss Marissa said, is the printable guide worth printing, or is it good enough to have it saved on the computer? So Marissa, it's fine if you want to leave that on your computer, save the printer, save your paper and ink. You could make this black and white as well. The only reason why I would love a physical copy is because sometimes you're just kind of on the move and you have everything cut out and you just want to, Easypress something really quick, and instead of having to go online and search for the page, you could have that physical copy to, flip open right there. So it's just kind of about convenience in your type of crafting.
Yeah. I personally don't have one printed out at home because my craft room I have a craft closet. It's not even a room. And so I just don't have a lot of space to keep things like that. But here, I like our physical copy. I reference it a lot. Okay, so I went ahead and put that back on so that I could see where everything fits, and I don't have to try to guess and then try to line it up when I'm stapling the back. I'm going to remove this here. She's a big one. Mm-hmm. We have it pre-weeded for you all, and then we are just going to lay it on here, and we can measure for sure. Where's my measuring tape? There we go. Just measure around here. I love things like this that are like foolproof when it comes to measurements.
You're like, can't mess this up.
Yeah. Is that a train?
That train horn needs some work.
Train, yeah.
Guys,
pretty close on.
I was editing one of Tanner's videos a while back, and I had never watched one of their videos
this is hysterical.
With the train in it, and it was like a pre-made, so I was editing it for him, and a train came. That sucker was so loud on this audio, and I thought, oh my gosh, is that what all the live viewers hear when that train goes by? Because it was loud. Tanner's face was priceless in the video. He was right in the middle of talking.
I'm sure that footage is going to make our next blooper reel because it was hysterical.
It was so funny. He just stopped and was like, whatever. Took a couple drinks of water. Then he was about to start talking again, and it hadn't honked for a while. Or what do you call it? What does it honk? What is it?
It blew its horn.
There we go. It hadn't blown its horn in a while, and then right before he starts talking, it did it one really loud time, and he's like, oh, whatever. God love him. It was so funny.
I can't believe I got that down pretty close first time. That's crazy because you can't see, guys. Like, generally I'm like, Rachel, how does this look?
Becca, Megan said, Becca, you have a fantastic eyeball.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So once we have that set, we're just going to grab our Easypress. And Rachel, how do you start when you're doing something like this? Would you start in the middle or do you start on the edges?
I would start in the middle going out.
That's what I do. I was just curious. Curious to see. I start in the middle because I feel like if I start here, then this might adhere and then might push it weird. Does that make sense?
Yes, it will for sure. If you start crinkling it up and it doesn't have anywhere to like crinkle out to, I know it doesn't make any sense unless you're doing it.
Right.
But it'll totally, when that transfer tape and that iron-on heats up, I have messed up some projects doing that for sure.
So yeah, just start in the middle and then move this little Easypress around. Guys, I'm going to be honest. I remember this taking a little bit of time when I did the bigger one. I'm hoping that maybe I let this dry longer on this one and that it just sticks better, but we'll see. Either way, it's totally doable. You just have to be patient with it and just hit all of those points. Another thing when I'm doing a project like this is that I'm moving around so much, especially when I'm talking, it's difficult for me to remember where I've hit it.
That's true too.
So yeah, you can definitely look for bubbles. That helps.
And a lot of people will time it. I don't think I've ever set a timer for this baby Easypress.
No, I haven't either.
If they wanted us to time it, they should have put a timer in it. I know they recommend it, but it's too much work. We're lazy crafters, so
Why didn't they?
I think it's just because they were trying to keep it super compact, and maybe it had to have some more inner working pieces if it had to have a timer. I don't know.
Okay, that makes sense.
I shouldn't justify for Cricut, but whatever, you know.
So this is going to take a minute. Do you guys have any questions? Do you have any questions about this project or our membership?
Or our Summer Summit sale? Summer Summit sale.
Or any personal questions? I mean, I'm ready for some questions.
I'll slap another S in there. Super Summer Summit sale.
Oh, wow,
there you go.
Rachel.
Yeah.
That's ambitious.
Yeah. It's my middle name.
So what projects do you guys have going on? And I mentioned it yesterday. Have you guys done any projects with our Makers Gonna Learn logos that we gave you guys last week? Because if you have, post them in Facebook.
And I'm not calling anybody out. I'm just saying. You guys have wanted those forever and ever. And we were so pumped to give them to you. And me and Becca were talking about it yesterday, not to drag Becca into this with me, but we were. And we want to see more.
Yeah, we do.
We want to see more on the Facebook group. We want to see you guys using those logos more. What are you going to logo? What are you going to rep? I mean, we want to see more. We've seen several and they are incredible, but we want to see more.
For sure. Anyway, if you do it, post it, and then tomorrow we are ending we were doing a giveaway. So whoever posts in our private Facebook group a project will be considered for a $50 Amazon gift card. And who doesn't want an Amazon gift card? I would.
I would love one.
I want one. I have a whole list of stuff in my Amazon cart right now.
I have 38 saved for later items.
Stop it.
I'm not kidding.
What?
They've been there since like 2015.
Stop.
No, it's like the stuff that I'm like, if I'm ever just fall into money, I'm going to get it. Just like a bunch of little random things that I'm never like, I'm going to totally get that now.
Are you an Amazon list maker? Like, do you have different lists on your Amazon account?
Nope.
Okay, so I do because
I've never known how.
I'm going to show you. It's a game changer.
Show me
I actually made one on our MGL account. But anyway, Anna and I share the same account, so sometimes like just adding it to the cart and coming back later, maybe she needs to purchase something or whatnot. So I do the lists, and I'll go back occasionally and look at my list and be like, why in the world did I put that on my list? Was it? Why did I think I needed that?
Was I drunk? What happened?
So interesting. And then there's things on there like that have been there for years and I just still have not bought them. And it's kind of like, when you're cleaning out your closet and you haven't worn something in 2 years or a year or whatever, you should probably get rid of it. Yes. It's similar to that in my opinion on an Amazon wish list.
It's true. Some of them I'll go back and they're not even, like they haven't been available for like a year and I'm like, oh darn.
Chalk it up as a loss and delete it. But I'm such a list maker. Like, because I'm a type 1. Like, I don't know. I think that my next tattoo should be a list.
We do. That'd be something. I love it.
I live and die by my lists. Like,
Lists
I
are
have
great.
lists upon lists. Anyway, I think we're about finished here.
And we do have a bunch of questions, which
Let's
is
hear
amazing.
them.
So the first one is about how many new cut files do you release every month?
Oh, that is a good question.
Yeah, it's hard to say though because they're all so different. So we have 3 releases a month. One is requested cut files, which guys, I'm just gonna say is from like 30 to like 60, 70 cut files. We've released so many as 120 for you guys at one launch. And then next week we have our actual cut file collection, which is like curated and trend spotted and things. And that's around 30 to 40, minimum 30. And then we have fonts, which are 20 a month. So it just kind of depends there. Okay, next one.
Okay.
I just want to commend Miss Jessica. She says, I asked earlier, but I think it got missed. I'm going to stop her there before I even comment further. You are so polite to do that. Thank you. This is the perfect way to let us know. Me and Sweet Becca have a lot going on. And if we do miss a question, copy and pasting is the best way for us to see that again.
Sure.
So thank you, Miss Jessica, for that, being so kind. She said, I know certain projects can use either HTV or permanent vinyl. If you had to choose one, which would you say you use more?
Oh,
Becca?
HTV. I would say 95% of the time I use HTV.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
We try and use HTV on anything we possibly can. Mm-hmm.
And the reason that I chose HTV on this project over regular vinyl, because regular vinyl could have worked on this, was the weeding. So we've got all these teeny tiny things to weed out in the letters, and I hate weeding regular vinyl. I just hate it.
It's not fun. And then you have to worry about after you've burnished, is it going to go wrong in the way of like you peeling it up?
Right.
Or, is something like that going to happen? You never know.
I made a sign yesterday for my camper guys, and I used regular vinyl.
How did that go?
It went really well.
Yeah?
Like really, really well. But that was the first time I've used regular vinyl in, I can't tell you how long.
Yeah?
Especially like at home.
Oh,
I probably
yeah.
used it here more than at home.
Becca crafts at home. She, like she has a little craft room. I'm only here. I would probably say overall I'm 70-30. I use mostly HTV and then I use some vinyl. It's not quite even though. I definitely use more HTV. Miss Carol says, any ETA on the cleaning mats with different techniques? Carol, absolutely. That is in the works. We have already prepped it. It's ready to go. Tanner wants that filmed a specific way. So we're actually waiting on a friend to come help us. But that is happening soon. Thank you so much for asking us, making sure we're staying on task. We super, super appreciate it. And Miss Tammy said, is your frame black or dark brown?
It's black. It's like a matte black, so it kind of looks chalky. Oh, this is exactly what I thought this was going to do. I'm just having to peel up, guys, and look and see where it has laid down and then lay it back down and reapply heat. And I think I'm going to have to do that the entire way.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe some pieces are better. Okay, we got it good.
Yeah.
I'm going to cut this off.
Do it.
Yeah.
That's great. And
This off.
let's see here. Miss Barbara said, Vintage Market & Co. What font is that? So, Miss Barbara,
I don't know.
I'm glad you asked. This is actually a file. It is one of our, why did the name leave me, Becca?
Grids. Family grids.
However, it looks super similar to Passion, which is one of these suggested files.
This is Passion.
Yeah. So it looks very similar to that. If you wanted to make this yourself or switch up the words or something, that is what I would use. Something kind of thinner, but still kind of like a plain font like that.
Yeah.
And all of these supplies and fonts and cut files used are in the description for you guys as well. If you would like
are you
that.
guys liking that? I mean, I think we've done it like somewhat before, but Rachel's like really gone above and beyond and made these really detailed lists for you guys.
I'm trying.
So I'm hoping you guys are loving those.
I hope so too. Thanks for the shout out there, Becca.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure.
And Miss Tammy, this is a hard question, Becca. Tammy
no.
says, how much would you charge for this?
No one would want to buy it.
Oh my gosh, Becca.
Okay, so the way that Tanner explains it, and I really love this. I hadn't thought about it this way before. So the way that you price is you calculate all of your supplies needed. So if you bought this frame, how much was the frame? Kind of estimate how much paint you use, how much the vinyl is that you are using. Add it all together, and then decide what hourly rate you want to pay yourself. So if you want to be $10 an hour or $16 an hour or $20, or whatever, be realistic, guys. Think about that. Then calculate how long it took you to make it. So if it takes you 2 hours to make it, and you're at $10 an hour, then you want to add $20 to that. And then
I've been answering comments, so I'm sorry if I didn't talk about it. Anything customized, personalized, goes up as well, because this has got oaks. You have the number of the party oven. You have the established date. So anything personalized, you can.
So between $5 to $10, depending on what it is, just for customization. Because this isn't a cut file that you just threw in there, cut out, and did it. Like there were some design elements to this, and then of course. Like I'm doing custom camper flags for friends, and guys, it takes me 2 hours to make the SVG that looks like those campers. So that customization is gonna be more. But anyway, so just consider all of those things and add it up, and that's what it would be. So say I have $15 in supplies here, and it took me 2 hours to do it, and I want to pay myself $10 an hour. Then I would probably charge between $40 and $45 for this on.
I think that's a good price.
I mean that's all just like total. I have no idea how much I've got in supplies on this.
And sweet Ashley said, I just made my first sale on Etsy with an original made design. Thank you with all the help.
Awesome.
Ashley, congrats. That's amazing.
That's
Your first sale
incredible.
is such an, just go ahead and print out that receipt and frame it. Just frame it. That's awesome. I love it.
So guys, I think HTV on wood gets a bad rep because of this right here. It does take a minute to get it down.
It'll last forever.
It will last forever. That's the thing. That's why I keep pushing it. It doesn't peel up. Once it's down, it doesn't peel up.
It doesn't make that other dimension look. Does that make sense?
Right.
Like it doesn't make it look like it's raised and, oh, that's totally vinyl slapped on a sign.
Right.
Not saying slapping vinyl on a sign is bad. I would never say that. We love slapping vinyl on signs. We're just saying if you're not going for that look or you want it to look a certain way, that is another pro of having iron-on, is it looks super seamless with the frame, which is awesome.
Right. So all of that to say, I mean, it's intensive as far as it's just tedious. So don't get discouraged. Don't just rip it off and, call it a day. Just stick with it.
Patience is not a lot of people's strong point, and certainly not my strong point.
Definitely not mine.
But when you have time invested and money invested in something like this, you just have to take it slow. Just like Becky said, a little at a time. And it's worth it. You'll learn from it. You'll every time that you have a little craft fail or you have to spend extra time doing a project like this, you'll learn from this time, So maybe next time Becca would want to do something differently or something. I mean, you never know. But, you'll definitely learn from every little thing you go through like this. It's not like you're having a fail right now. This project is going to end up gorgeous. It's just taking a little extra time.
Yeah, I mean, it would take anybody this amount of time.
And Tanner loves to mention this too sometimes. When he's, when he's getting in one of those moods, he'll say, if you guys think this takes a long time, what if you had to cut all this out by hand? Cut each one of those letters and cut all that out. And I'm like, go, Tanner. It's true.
I've not even thought of that.
Think about it. That Cricut did all the work that I would 100% not want to do,
Well, and that brings up a good point. I've mentioned it, how I've started quilting. Well, I've started making quilt tops. I haven't actually quilted yet. But I'm cutting out the squares for the designs using my maker. And what I'll do is open up a new canvas, and then I'll look at the pattern and add all of the squares in the right sizes that I need. And then cut them out. And that takes a while. And then changing the mat takes a while and all of that. And the other day was complaining about it, and then I was like, but what if I had to cut out these 3/4 inch squares by hand and do all of this? So Rachel, that's totally true. Like, yeah, it takes a while, but man, it would take so much more time.
Okay, Miss Gigi said, what is the difference between HTV and regular vinyl? It's kind of what it sounds, Miss Gigi. So regular vinyl, you do not apply any heat to. It has a sticky back like a sticker, and you would use transfer tape to apply it. HTV it stands for heat transfer vinyl. So it attaches to anything you can heat it to. It'll attach to fabric, to wood, as you can see here. It's a great little multi-purpose material there. You do have to switch up some settings and do some special things when using HTV, and we do have a great video on that if you would like it. But you'll pay a little bit more for HTV as well, because it comes with that backing that you see there. What Becca's pulling off, it comes with that clear transfer tape, so it's like built in. So you'll pay a little more for it, but it is higher quality as well.
Right.
And Becca,
yes.
I love this question. Here you go. Miss Carol says, why didn't you use a larger heat press?
Oh, that is a good question. It's a really good question, because if you were at home not seeing what I'm seeing, you'd be like, man, she's crazy. The problem with doing something like this, I don't know if you can see it or not. It's the paint texture that we did it definitely is textured. It's not smooth. It's not flat. And we're putting that on top of wood that we haven't sanded and made smooth and flat. So if we're using our regular Easypress, that is, for instance, our big
6x7 or 9x9 or
then it is very flat, and you don't have as much freedom to kind of move it and get in those curves and grooves and stuff. So this has the point there. I can take that and go right into all of these grooves, or it's curved, and moving it around just helps adhere the sides and stuff. Like this looks tedious, but it would take so much more time if I were using a bigger one.
Yeah. I don't want to speak for the entirety of...
You can tell them about our debate the other day on that one project I was doing.
Oh.
That you guys are totally right on.
Oh, well, I will mention that. I don't want to speak for the whole Makers Gonna Learn team, but me personally, if I had one Easypress to pick, I would pick the baby.
Oh, you can speak for me.
Okay.
Yeah, and Tanner. I know Tanner feels the same way.
Then I'll speak for Makers Gonna Learn.
Yeah.
But... excuse me, Becca was making, I'm not going to give a lot away because it's for a future launch, which is really awesome.
Yeah.
But it's a long piece of wood, and she had stained it, and she was just going to do some iron on it. It had been dried and everything like that, so that wasn't the issue. And she grabbed that 9x9 Easypress.
Thinking the same thing. This is a large area, surface area. Let's just hit it with the heat.
And you could do, I'm sure in her mind, like 5 different presses and good to go.
Yeah.
I mean, and it looked like it. A lot of people would think that. I'm not saying it's just Becca and she's weird. It's a lot of people, I'm sure. But she was working on it for quite a while. Me and Tanner, I think we did it as nicely as we could. We were like, hey, Becca, what are you doing with that?
But guys, I'm so stubborn. I finished the whole project with the Easypress.
She sure did.
Use it with.
She sure. We started, telling her that maybe she should use the mini, and she said something along the lines of, "I'm gonna try this.
We'll see.
Or we'll see. Or I'm gonna use this one." And me and Tanner were like, okay. And she worked on it for quite a while, but she did not give up. She didn't say, okay, fine, whatever, unplug it, whatever.
And that project looks hella good.
Yes, it does. She used that 9x9, and it turned out awesome. So, but it took a long time.
It did.
It
did.
But we love the mini. But that
was a good question. That was a fantastic question.
It was, yeah.
Are there any others?
Why didn't you use the Easypress and press it before you put it in the frame?
Oh, yeah, that's also a good question. Because I could put it on this, and then when I flip it over on the back, what if I accidentally did it too far down this way or too far this way, and then stapled it on and then flipped it over and then saw that it was out of whack. So
it's 10 times easier to line up your HTV on the frame afterwards than it is to try and line up your frame to your HTV.
Yes.
If that makes any sense. And usually we don't really have anything that's going on the frames too much to the corners, but this baby Easypress can get there. If you guys look at any of the other Easypresses, even the second generation ones, they have this lip on them where if you had put this all the way to the corner of Becca's frame there, it will not touch the very corner with that heat plate because there's like this plastic lip over it where that baby will go. So that baby will hit places that the other ones cannot and get into those tighter corners, which is yet another reason why we love that little thing.
I got my mom one of these for Mother's Day.
Did you?
I did, and she doesn't even own a Cricut, but she quilts, and so having it right next to her to press down her seams and things like that right after she's sewn them, because that's what I've been doing. Like, she's obsessed with it. She's loving it. Yeah!
Oh, Becky, it's gorgeous.
Got it. We've got it.
Oh, another great question.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Sorry, I missed a little bit. In theory, could you use the mini Easypress for all iron-on projects, or does it not get as hot as the larger ones?
It does get as hot. There's 3 settings. There's 300, 350, and 400. And 400 is the highest that the other ones will go as well.
Yeah.
In theory, yes, you could. The only reason I would not want to, I think, if you are going to be doing like adult-size shirts with print and cut HTV, I think, I mean, and you can, well, I mean, I guess you could get the tape. You could get the heat-resistant tape to tape it down. Yeah?
Yeah, you could do that.
And then move it around. My only hesitation, if you're not going to use a tape, is that once you put it down and then start moving it around, then maybe the vinyl, the print and cut vinyl would move with it.
Yeah.
Other than that, I use it for everything.
It's good. It you might think, well, okay, it gets to 300, 350, and 400, but what about the degrees in between? Like how t-shirts need to be 320. The way that the Easypress Mini was designed is to be moved around.
Right.
So it's not like you're going to heat the entire thing at 350 degrees. It will kind of even itself out, which is good. And we did get a super sweet comment.
Yeah.
Miss Megan said, I'm not sure if I'm oversensitive or overprotective of you guys, but I feel like there have been a few less than kind comments. I just want to remind you guys that you are amazing and so appreciated.
Aww.
Why are you so sweet,
That is
Megan?
so sweet, Megan.
We don't
Thank
deserve
you.
amazing members like you guys. You're too sweet. Listen, no matter where we are in life, and I'm not saying that I'm oversensitive. I'm just saying no matter where you are in life or who you surround yourself with, you won't be able to please everybody, and that's just that's a fact of life. And we try our best to kind of just, brush any negative things off our shoulders and know that you guys are truly supportive and that you guys love us, and we're so thankful for you, for sure. So thank you, Megan. And Marissa had a great question.
Yes, I see that.
Yes. She said, can you overheat HTV, like burn it on wood, clothes, or anything?
Rachel, tell her about your video.
Okay. I'm going to try and find it and link it. I made this video, and it's kind of like more of a joke now because it's hilarious, but I tried to burn HTV in this video because I wanted to prove if you did or did not need a Teflon sheet. Now, there is some backlash on this video because we do use a Teflon sheet here. We use it for a lot of different things, but some people are so obsessed with it that they use it on like socks and t-shirts and things like that. And we don't use it on projects like that. So this was just a really fun video on me trying to use the Teflon sheet and seeing what would happen if I didn't. Guys, I got these socks smoking, okay? These socks were smoking. I could not burn this HTV. So Miss Marissa, good question. We have never burned HTV. Now, white HTV is easier to see if it is burning because it's white, of course, but you really can't, I don't know, you can't burn it. You might could if you really tried hard.
Another question from Ashley. Would you use HTV over vinyl for decals for cars or tumblers as well? So you would not use HTV on cars because you wouldn't want to heat up a car to put it on. Also, if I were putting it on a car, I would want it to be more removable. HTV is more permanent than even permanent vinyl. So I personally wouldn't. I don't. Have we ever tried that?
On a car?
I mean, I would not.
Whose car do you want?
A junker.
Who would like to volunteer?
Wayne's car.
Mm-hmm. Yes, my old car. Oh wait, it won't start.
Yeah, I do not recommend that. As far as a tumbler goes,
we have done HTV on tumblers before, but I think the biggest thing is if
how you
this is
seal it
across
is
the board. If you put vinyl, whether it's HTV or regular adhesive vinyl, on a mug, cup, anything like that, you have to seal it. You have to seal it. So it really doesn't matter regardless of what you put on there. It's not going to last either way, so you have to seal those. So in my mind, use regular vinyl because it's cheaper anyways, and just seal it. Just seal it and you'll be fine. Jessica, is there a good substitute for Teflon? Not that we've found. There is parchment paper. Parchment paper does do well, but it doesn't replace Teflon. Cricut has a protective sheet that we like and use a lot, and Amazon has some Teflon sheets that are relatively cheap. There are some in the description, ma'am. Let's see, can I use adhesive vinyl for this project? Also, what about Crackle paint?
Yeah, you can definitely use adhesive vinyl for this project. For sure. I did mention before, the only reason I chose not to was because I don't like to weed out all of these little, it's just me being lazy, honestly. And it kind of has a chalky finish. And so I think I did try it actually. I'm trying to remember because I tried 2 different backings. I tried like a spackle thing, and the regular vinyl did not stick to that because it was sort of powdery. And then I think I just got scared with that. But the main reason is because I didn't want to weed this. And then I saw something about Crackle paint. Also, what about Crackle paint? Mm-hmm. I haven't used Crackle paint in a long
as long as it
time.
Dries good and hard and it doesn't flake off, I think
I would think it would be fine.
Or just seal it before you apply the adhesive vinyl.
You just don't want to finish that as powdery because even like if this were powdery, HGV wouldn't stick to it either.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
So I did that spackle thing, and I said I had the fell with regular vinyl.
Yeah.
It was like a German schmear type thing.
Yeah.
And so then I was like, okay, well, I'll use HTV on top of it. It also didn't stick very well.
Yeah.
So make sure that you do not have a powdery surface.
Becca did the tests, guys. Let me tell you.
And it was so sad because it was going to be so beautiful.
It was. It's okay, though. Listen, that's fine. You live and you learn. Miss Michaela says, can Cricut magnetic sheets work for car magnets? So we haven't used Cricut magnetic sheets if they do offer magnetic sheets. We have cut magnetic sheets with the Cricut. It uses the deep cut blade so you can use it with your Explorer, your Maker, whatever you like.
Uh-huh.
I think you could stick them on your car. As long as the magnet sheet you choose is strong enough to stick on your car, I think so. What do you think, Becca?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it would work.
Yeah, I think so.
Going to try and stencil my concrete porch. Don't want to use reusable stencil, but want to make multiple copies of the same design. What vinyl do you suggest that would still yet be removable? My question first is, why do you not want to use a reusable stencil? That would definitely be more economical and easier to pil up.
We have some great trainings on it.
Yeah, as far as sticking down, the word is completely. What's the brand of that adhesive stuff?
That's
the repositionable adhesive.
Yeah, I think what is it? It's either Krylon or
it's Krylon.
I think it's
Krylon repositional adhesive will help it stick down to your concrete floor and it won't move.
And it won't damage your floor.
Right.
It's repositional, or repositionable. I get messed up on that. You guys love to call me out on that. Repositional and repositionable. Excuse me for dropping that syllable. But it doesn't damage anything. It's meant to be used on like paper and things. So it's super gentle. It won't hurt anything for sure.
If a reusable stencil like with craft plastic is totally out of the question, worried about it bleeding. Okay. Yeah. With that repositionable, good Lord, Rachel, now you've got me.
Listen.
With that adhesive we were just talking about, it shouldn't move, especially on concrete. But if you definitely want a vinyl, I think that's going to be really expensive to do that.
Well, and Miss Carol, let me tell you, if you're not super comfortable with, I want to say pouncing, because that's kind of what you would be doing, is using a pouncer instead of a brush. You can do unsmooth surfaces by pouncing. You just want a very minimal amount of paint on your pouncer, and that way you can do several coats and it will not what did she say she's worried about it bleeding? It won't bleed underneath there if you do really light coats with not a lot of paint on your pouncer. I would suggest trying it on like a corner that you could maybe paint over if you could. I don't know. Testing is always good though before you jump into a gigantic project.
Otherwise, I would just find a cheap removable vinyl. Like if vinyl is definitely what you want to do, which is totally fine if that's the case, then just a cheap removable vinyl, something like what's the Hobby Lobby brand that I love?
The Paper Studio.
Yeah, I actually like Paper Studio HTV. I know you guys hate it, but I actually like it.
And guys, I have been doing some research today actually, and it seems like, probably not at the one we have, that Dollar Tree has a vinyl.
What?
I don't even know. I know it has to be like 4 inches for $1, but we're gonna do some videos testing on that and everything like that. But Miss Rebecca said you could use dollar store clear shelf liner, so like tack. What do you call it? Contact paper.
Oh,
so that's a great idea, Miss
That's a really
Rebecca.
good idea.
Love that. She said she did her entire craft room floor. That is a great point, Miss Rebecca. That'd be something great to do. It's $1. You know?
Perfect.
Yeah. And Miss Jessica, thank you for being so kind and answering my questions. She said, I'm not happy that we're quarantined because of COVID-19, but I love the fact how I have more time to watch live videos. Miss Jessica, we are so happy to have you. We hope that you have enjoyed this live for sure. And
I saw a poem that I wanted to create as a sign, but when I tried to type it in Design Space, there seemed to be a character limitation. Does the text have a character limitation, or was it user error?
Some of them do.
Yeah, well, I mean, but I've typed a lot of stuff in one of those before, like a ton of stuff. So I'm not sure. Although, guys, Design Space here lately has been so squirrely, and they've done all these updates, which are, in my opinion, not updates.
They're down dates.
Who knows? It may just be an issue with Design Space. I don't know.
That could be.
Wowzers.
It could be.
They've got to get it together.
Which is sad.
Dollar Tree vinyl. We gotta go to Dollar Tree tomorrow, Rachel.
I know. We were gonna go today. You know, things come up. Whatever. Yeah. I'm gonna switch it back to you, Becca, so they can see your beautiful face.
Oh,
they need to.
You.
But guys, ask all your last minute questions before we head out of here.
We've had some good questions
We've
today.
had some amazing questions. Y'all have been awesome. We have 250 watching, which is awesome. Thank you all for tuning in and seeing what we're about. Get your membership if you haven't. And the Summer Summit is $20 off using the code MAKE at checkout. So you want to gear your home and your crafty levels up for that. So
yeah, guys, so Summer Summit, I didn't even mention it. Summer Summit, we have like fall projects in Summer Summit, if that makes sense. So it helps you get ready for fall, which I think is really cool. It'll boost your creativity for fall projects. So it's really exciting. Yeah. Code MAKE, M-A-K-E. Rachel did mention it. Gets $20 off. It makes it $177. And Summer Summit is July 25th and 26th, Rachel?
July 25th and 26th.
Which is a Saturday and a Sunday. So you can craft all weekend with us. If for some reason there is a schedule conflict and the 25th and 26th are booked for you already, then you can watch them later. You will get a copy, an HD copy link, whatever you want to call it, to the videos, and you can watch them at your own pace, and you can rewatch them as many times as you want. So, and
as long as you are a ticket holder, you're not going to miss out on any of the giveaways. You're automatically entered to win, which is great because we do give things away live, throughout the day too. All of the ticket holders, not just who are live, so that's fun too.
Yes.
And Miss Linda has asked this several times, and I wanted to address it. Miss Linda, thank you so much for asking it again so that we can catch that. You are a sweet little dear. She says, when is the emoji video coming out?
So I think I'm going to film that this Friday, which means it would release next Friday.
That's great.
Yeah.
Member only?
Member only.
Member only Facebook group, guys. You heard it here.
Yep.
Love it. And that's what's on our Cricut right there. I told Becca right before the live, we have answered so many questions about everyone loving this.
I did mine yesterday. Did you see that picture I posted of my craft room?
I did. Your big pegboard.
Yeah,
it's gorgeous.
I put the Makers Gonna Learn with the Bitmoji on there. Yours. I stole yours with the paintbrush because I don't know why I didn't see that one before. When you sent me that, I was like, man, she got the best one. I didn't know.
Oh my gosh. Well, guys, it's just because I have zero other hobbies except work. So... crafting.
So fun. Anyway, yes, that's a great question. I'm really excited about it. It's so funny because honestly, that is the easiest project I've done in months. And you guys are so excited about it, which is exciting to me. But I'm pumped to show you guys how to do it. You guys are going to be like, what? So easy. You're going to love it.
Miss Marcia, very, very soon. Thank you again for keeping us on task and making sure we get things done. And Miss Sarah, great question. The sale, there is a deadline for the sale that will not be on sale for very long. However, we have had people like later sign up for the summit the day before. We've had it happen. People that they had FOMO, fear of missing out, and they just had to join, and we have allowed them to join and tried to get them their links and everything.
I believe Sherry did that for Fall Summit.
She might have.
I'm pretty sure she did. Last minute, she was like, okay, I'm going to join you. And I was like, yay!
Listen to Becca calling people out.
I believe it was Sherry. She doesn't mind. Sherry doesn't mind.
No, she's great.
She's cool about it.
And Becca, Miss Marissa said, where are the member-only videos on Facebook?
That's a good question. So if you are accessing Facebook via I keep playing with this glue. Your mobile phone, you'll go to the top right under where it says Maker's Gonna Learn, and there's our profile picture, and there's a menu that you can slide, and it says albums. So you'll click albums, and then you'll click the album titled Member Only Album. So there's access there. If you're using a desktop computer with, Internet Explorer or Safari or whatever, then to the left of the page, there is a menu, and you'll see photos and videos. You can select either one of those options. And then the next page that comes up at the top it says uploads, blah, blah, blah. And then one of the options is albums. So you'll click albums from there. And then you can access the member-only video at that point.
Love it. Love it. There's Sherry. She said, I did. Sherry. Yep, that was you. We loved it. We're so glad you joined last minute. Better late than never. That's fine. What?
I wish the different summits were spread further apart because I just paid Did you pay $3.97 for Design Make Sale? Is that what you're talking about?
I'm going to guess so.
Yeah, so summits are there. Is it spring,
summer, fall?
Spring, summer, fall. So there are 3. Excuse me. And if you wanted to do that later, you can definitely purchase that later at a different time. I got a tickle in my throat. Oh my goodness.
You need a water?
I think I do, but if there aren't any more questions, then we're going to get out of here.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
And Miss Jessica, good question. And then we will go because Becca's going to have a heart attack over here.
Yep.
We have, what do you call it? Strands, threads. That's hysterical. We have threads in Facebook. You got to love me. A couple of them where you can post your project requests and cut file requests and things like that. Customer service is more for I'm locked out of my account, or how exactly do I pay you money, or things like that. It's totally fine if we get craft questions. It's just not the best place to get those answered in the most timely of manners.
Drop your project requests below. If it's a member only, I'll write it on my list.
There you go. Now,
see how it goes.
Becca, are you okay?
I'm okay.
Okay.
My eyes are watering, but I'm okay. How funny. I did see another question, I think.
Did you? I think Becca's seeing
Sherry is hysterical. I don't mind at all. I didn't do one project yet, but I did want y'all to talk about something that I had no clue about. She had FOMO, friends.
She did. She had FOMO. It was rough. God love her. She buckled down and did it, though.
That's hysterical.
We were super proud. We were proud, Sherry.
Which project are you going to... If you do a project from Summit, which one is it going to be? So, yes, we do offer passports for Summits.
We do.
For sure. So it gets you all 3 for the year. I don't know why I'm dying here.
It's okay. That's fine.
Whew. Dying on air with all my favorite crafting
At least they'll know
friends.
it's not me that killed you.
I am a trooper. I think.
As I'm choking.
Yes. Okay, I think that's all the questions. I hope you guys enjoyed this project. Our fun Crackle paint DIY that was really cheap. Oh, Nina, we did just answer this. When will the Bitmoji stickers... and I didn't mean that ugly. I didn't mean that ugly. The Bitmoji sticker video is going to be a member-only video, and I plan to film it this Friday, which means it will probably be available next Friday. I'm dying. We're leaving. You guys have a great day. We will see you tomorrow. Tanner will be here tomorrow to craft with you guys, and have a wonderful day.